We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
Big gold and a billfold. So swole that I can't get the shit closed. So I money fold and rubber band wrap. And when it pop.
Just missed it. Almost had the perfect fade, and I messed it up. It's all right. We only got one viewer in here right now at our concrete time of 10 a.m., baby. 10 a.m. Eastern. Every Friday we're on.
At 11, but today it's 10.
Yeah, it was a rib.
Oh, okay.
You never know when I'm ribbing. Concrete time at 10 was nothing but a rib there, Rip.
Oh, okay.
It was a joke. Just kidding. We're hardly ever on at 10, except for the last time we were.
It's a little early for Opinion Haber, since he knows everybody in California. So he calls them and wakes them up every
7 a.m. there.
It's 7 a.m. there.
We're going to do our best today to not talk to me and talk into that microphone and the camera. We're going to really work on that today after 2.5 years.
There's the camera.
To actually talk here and not here and here. We're going to try our best. Two and a half years we've been doing this.
Oh shit.
See how that works. Manny the Weasel Valverde in the house today.
Oh, don't put him over. Well, of course, I had a couple pictures of him in my
I got a picture I got to put up. I forgot. Man, Weasel, I tell you what, buddy. I don't know if you've quit doing that competition that you're in or whatever it's called. What were they in? They were the pose off. You guys were going to do that pose off.
Well, the Weasel looks like he's been in his bulk stage. Looks like his neck's gained an extra 10 pounds.
Where'd you send that to me? Here we go. Talk to the people, Rip. Anybody got any comments in there? Why?
Let me see. Well, I got to adjust my glasses, which I can't see. All the top stars are in. Frankie Pickle Barrel's in. Let's see. Old John Tucker's here. Clayton said, "And good morning, gentlemen." Manuel Van Verde loved the 10 o'clock tip-off.
Oh, he likes it. All right.
He's putting himself. Oh, let's make sure we never do it again unless we have another emergency because, the Weasel, he's up early. He's up early, hanging and banging, going to the gym, jogging his 3.6 miles every day of his life. He's in the best shape of his life, prime of life, Weasel
prime of life. Yes,
it don't get any better than that.
So I have nothing prepared today, not one thing prepared today. So we're gonna have to have a lot of questions, super chats, things from the group. All 7 of you right now, really gonna have to step up your game today because I have nothing prepared. But I did just pull this up. Look at this crew, man. The King is in this picture. There's T Weasel. Bottom right in the Chicago Bears shirt.
He's looking like he's been bulking a little bit, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, he said he was getting ready for the big pose off with Eric Jimenez. This has been about a year in the making. That's never happened. Looks like maybe T Weasel's taking you say bulking stage, maybe taking a break. Maybe taking a break. I don't know. The King's got the fist pump going. We got Bud Shippey, the legendary Bud Shippey. He's a Hall of Famer now, I
Top
think.
of the morning, sports fans.
Legendary Hall of Famer Bud Shippey. And that's what Kurt Nichols.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the
voice.
The voice now. Look at T Weasel. He's just got that's $100 bill laying in there on the table.
Well, he probably snatched it off your dad and he slid it over there.
$100 bill, T Weasel. Wow. How do you have $100 bill laying there?
Well,
yet you're not in green and you don't ever do super chats. How much sense does that make, Rip?
Well, he's probably got all these girls that are paying him money on the side. The ex-governor's daughter, she slips him money because he's a stud. And then we had the legendary R. She slips him money because she was a famous head rockhead of Seymour, Indiana. And the Weasel was, he's like a dater extraordinaire. Multiple women, multiple knives, multiple Weasel, multiple Big O. That's the Weasel.
He said he's gained 20 pounds back. Too busy coaching and playing poker.
I can see the Weasel on his coach. He always give it the short. That's the Weasel. It's the Weasel clap.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Positivity.
Oh, is he?
Oh, Weasel. Oh, yeah. Then he'd always kick the dirt every once in a while. There's a little showboating in him.
Never knew that.
Oh, the Weasel.
Talion's in the house. Chubby Pickleback. Morning, fellas. Hey, Rip, who came up with your ring music? Which ring music?
Yeah, which ring music?
What'd you come out? You came out the hot stuff for a while.
Oh, that was Brenda.
Yeah?
Yeah, she knew how to do all that stuff.
What else did you come out to? Do you remember? Hot stuff.
some places that would give me music when I was out there to take.
Oh yeah.
Then when I was disco kid, I just had my basic boom box and had a bunch of disco fever shit on there. Would come out to that.
Did you go to the disco a lot?
When I was in the Maritimes, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you dance with chicks and stuff?
Oh hell yeah! I was on TV. Excuse me.
But I mean, you can dance though. Really.
Just act like you can. When you had the bleach blonde hair, the beard, being over, shredded, looking good, almost looking as good as a weasel, you know how it is.
Frank's Pickle Barrel asks in green. Always ask the top wrestling questions on here. Wants to know what slang did guys use on the road for blowjob, like getting some neck or some brains. A special
I never heard of neck or brains. I heard about getting a blowjob, get your dick sucked.
Yeah, that's pretty slang.
Yeah. I didn't hear. I guess he made his own up.
So he just called it what it was, pretty much. There was no slang terms. You just called it.
Well, if we were playing Japanese, we'd say bro job.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. A lot of banging here. T Weasel said 100 fingertip push-ups just completed. I don't buy that for 1 second.
I don't buy that for one anything. I can just see the Weasel smashing his fingers because his weight so much.
George Jetson in from outer space. Best part of the week. I tell you, I was just watching an interview with Gail Kim. Gail was very complimentary about Rip. She confirmed Rip is the greatest of all time. Yeah, well, you ought to look at the interview on our channel if you haven't watched the Gail Kim interview. I think we have 2 parts on here. And she said it right here on Wrestling with Rip Rogers that he was the best. I think. Sure, she did.
Well, she's in the chips now with the rich husband. She should send me them protein cookies and everything.
Well, she was supposed to, and she never did.
No, what it was she sent them to me before, and I was looking at an old thing.
What do you mean an old thing?
Like if she had texted me something, and then 3 years later.
Oh. Oh, I see. Well, after our interview, she was supposed to send us some, but
if she did, I ate them. I wasn't going to send him to Manny.
Manny said Brenda was hot stuff. Let's see what else we got. How many women wrestlers that have gotten over has Rip trained?
A lot of them. How many? I'd have to get a list and start.
We'll start naming some.
Well, I can't remember all them girls that were at OVW.
Serena Deeb.
Yeah, Serena.
one.
Yeah, and then Serena was the best one. Mickey James. Oh, Mickey James was great.
Mickey James.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you had Gail Kim in class.
Yeah, she was great.
She was great.
You
had Melina in class for a while. She got a lot better. I like Melina's stuff. Who else do you have in class? I'm trying to think who else was trained. Oh, you had what's her name for did you have her? Girl that went to AEW. I think she just had a baby.
Diana.
Diana. I'm talking that has tattoos all over. Was part of the Riot Squad with the green hair.
Ruby Riot.
Ruby Riot. Didn't you have her? She was in OVW.
She used to come to class.
Ruby Riot's pretty good. Manny says Rip was not only a top-notch athlete and weightlifter, he was a top dancer at bumpers back in the day.
Oh, shit. Look at the Weasel pull. See, when Manny said he's pulled out the Sam Miniker on Dick the Bruiser calling Handsome Jimmy Valiant top-notch athlete and weightlifter. That's what he was talking about. Valiant said that on an interview with Sam Miniker. So the Weasel's duplication from 40 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever it is.
Chubby Pickle with leading us off with the $5 super chat.
Chubby Pickle, baby. Don't get any better than that.
Thanks, Chubby Pickle. Appreciate that. Rip, which territory did you make the most money, and how many straps did you win in your career?
I never counted the amount of straps I won in my career. I made more money with Bill Watts working underneath than I did working on top and semi and other places because that was my job, and he drew a lot of money. So he and I got to work underneath with guys that didn't have as much experience. So Watts compensated me for it. So I sure as hell like that. And there was no pressure either.
Give me a ballpark on titles. You have any idea?
No, never even. When I was a boss, I hardly ever had a title. Hell, when I was a booker in Kansas City, everybody had a belt but me. I didn't need a belt.
You weren't good enough. You couldn't win. You couldn't win the big one. Is that what it was? You were like Charles Barkley?
I guess I was like Barkley.
Like Dan Marino?
I guess I was like them. I wish I had their money.
Couldn't win the big one, huh?
Yeah, or the little one.
Thanks for the question, Chubby Pickle. So was that Watts? Is that Mid-South?
Yeah.
So why is Mid-South, I feel, so popular? I put out a poll on YouTube or on our channel on Tales of the Territory. Mid-South won in a landslide. It's also got our most views in a landslide. I feel like people talk about it the most. Was it bigger or better, or why do I think Mid-South, I feel personally, gets the most love and respect?
Well,
I feel from fans, I would say.
Okay, it had more major cities of the month than, you got to remember, at that time WWF was just a regional territory.
Yeah, I'm not talking about that.
Okay,
I'm
well,
talking about the other territories.
I'm telling you, well, you look at WWF or what you're looking at now. Now they're nothing but bigs, but then they'd have about 4 big shows a month, and that'd be it. The rest of the time they were in YMCA's, high school.
Who are you
gyms.
talking about?
I'm talking about WWF.
Okay.
And then I'm going to, and that's why because you'd say, oh, well, why wouldn't they ran Madison Square Garden? Yeah. And then they hardly ran anything else either.
It's not really at all what I'm talking about. I'm talking about compared to Championship Wrestling of Florida, compared to
that's what
Southeastern.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
But at the time, the people would think that the WWF, when like Bruno was champion and stuff like that they were the biggest big timer. No, it was Bill Watts's. Bill Watts, he'd run Superdome shows, do 35,000 people. But the thing about it was, we'd run New Orleans once a week, no matter what. It wasn't like WWE does now, and they lay out for 2 years, then they have a WrestleMania in Dallas and say, "Oh, what a crowd!" Well, hell, they hadn't been there in 2 years, But anyway,
well, I'm comparing it to the other territories. So
okay,
not WWF. I'm not talking about them at all. I'm talking about all the ones you've done Tales of the Territory about. Is it then? Are you saying is it because it was just bigger? Is that why? Like they ran?
Okay, first of all, Bill Watts charged more per ticket than anybody at that time. Okay, so now you got more. If you had the same amount of people, you'd have twice as much money. Now Bill Watts, he was in Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Texas, and there's one other state, but I can't think. I got to look at the thing. Anyway, he would have a lot of major shows. When you were looking at, let's say, the Tampa territory, they just had Florida, and not all of Florida, because Ron Fuller, he had the Panhandle. When you was looking at Southeastern, you were looking at parts of Alabama, a little bit of Florida, later on a little bit of Mississippi, and then Eastern Kentucky and Eastern Tennessee, but that was it. They didn't have as many TV markets. Watts had a lot of TV markets, strong TV markets. He could shove anybody down your throat. He took Junkyard Dog, who I'd wrestled with him in Nashville. I'd met him in '77. Then he'd worked Calgary. Then all of a sudden, Bill Watts made him a superstar. Shoved him down people's throat, and Dog was the most over person in Mid-South by Bill Watts getting him over. And then when after a few years, Dog went off and ran off to WWE and became a big superstar.
Okay, so TV market bigger, sounds
like. They had more markets, stronger markets in key stations at key time slots that didn't get screwed around. Let's compare Memphis. They had, if they were on Channel 3 in Louisville every week, no matter what, you're going to get a good rating. We'd be on in ICW. We'd be on WDRB. We're on 10:30 in the morning. Next week we're on 2:30 in the afternoon. All of a sudden it's 11:30 at night. That's solid. The strongest TV with the solid time slot that guarantees you success, and that costs you a lot of money, or you got to know a lot of people that owe you favors. And with Bill Watts, he had points in Florida. Points meant he was a partial owner with Eddie Graham. He could have been like a partial owner with Ole Anderson out of Atlanta. So these were working buddies where they would help you out with stuff. And then when they ran a big show, you would return the favor.
Strong TV at a good time slot guarantees success, just like AEW apparently.
Well, now they're losing some of their TV time slots. So
are they? I thought they were all still the same.
Well, so one of the thing in Europe, I think they signed for a 3-year thing, and after 1 year they got dropped. So,
okay, Europe.
Yeah, But that's.
Yeah, I'm talking American TV. Rip. Have you ever worked a circus show?
No.
You
mean like, I worked fair shows and stuff like that? Is that what they're talking
about? I don't
know.
Frank says, has Rip ever worked a circus show? Yeah, I've wrestled several fair shows, which I always enjoyed fair shows.
Yeah.
I didn't know the circuses really had wrestling. I don't know.
Fair. I guess he's talking about fair. A fair is a mini circus, is what it is. So
I've never seen a clown at a fair ever. Have you? Or a chimp or a tramp? What are those things they fly on? Trapeze. I've never seen one of those at a fair.
If it was
high wire act, have you ever seen one of those at a fair?
I wouldn't go in.
I don't think a fair is a mini circus. What the hell?
Well, mini circus, it means they got all the food outside. They got all the place you can walk around at.
I've seen a lion tamer at a fair.
They got the bearded lady, the sword swallower, the little poo.
All the Jackson County Fair. I've seen all that shit there.
Right. Okay. It's same old shit everywhere.
I was being sarcastic. You heard it here first, people. Fairs are mini circuses that's without anything that goes to a circus.
Vaughn, Mr. Sarcastic Lilas.
Oh, Jesus. They are all over me. I don't even know where we're at anymore.
Well, but I need to interrupt you right here.
Go ahead, man.
Imagine I do it all the time, but what the hell, right?
I wish you did it more.
Okay. I got to say happy birthday. You got that picture lined up yet?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Got to get a picture from right there. There's Miss Tina. It's Miss Tina's birthday today. She's hanging and banging every day at Anytime Fitness in Lawrence, Indiana. She's right there training today. And she says, I need all these men out here to see how hot I am. I said, well, I can do that. And we'll have Vaughn Lilas put you over. And
are you allowed to say her age, or can you say what number her birthday is?
That's what I was building up to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, this hot lady, this hot woman right here. Today is her 63rd birthday. 63rd birthday. That's one more than 62. So you guys can go home, rub one off, whatever you want to do. But happy birthday to Miss Tina. How's that?
Is she watching? Does she know we're doing this? Does she know I just put a half naked picture of her on?
Well, she sent them to me.
The internet.
Yeah.
I know she sent them to you. I didn't just have that picture on my phone somehow. I know she sent them to you.
But you do.
That wasn't my question. My question was, does she know we're putting it on? On here.
Yeah, she said. Well, she told me about her birthday today, and she said, "That's when we put you on your show." And she said, "Well, she's already posted." I said, "Well, we got a little bit more followers than you do." So
is she on the? Or is she watching today? Has she ever watched our show?
No, she's got. I sent her the thing today. I said, "Well, come on after 10 o'clock sometime, but if you miss it, it'll be on the YouTube show. That's after it's live. It's frozen on there, whatever the hell that's called."
Did you have any favorite students, Rip? Tyon wants to know who your favorites were. He was definitely had some teachers' pets or whatever they were called.
Oh yeah, well, but when I was teachers' pets, it was the girls who had the most potential, or it was the girls that were looked down upon. Because I always liked the underdog. Because I hate snooty bitches. Put it that way.
I don't think he's asking about girls. He's just saying, did you have any favorites? Didn't say girls.
Oh yeah, if you were any good, you got there early, stayed late, and you worked your balls off. I liked all of you.
Ricky Ortiz was a favorite. He was no damn.
Oh.
He was no damn underdog. You kissed his ass from the day you walked through that door, man. He wasn't an underdog.
I kissed his
Oh,
ass.
you loved it. Yeah. Oh, you just sat there and talked to him the whole time while we
Well,
had practice. You'd make
well,
us all do all this shit, and you'd just sit over there and
you
talk
guys
with him.
needed it. He didn't need it.
Oh yeah, he definitely needed it. That's why he got fired in about 5 months after he got called up
Well,
because he wasn't ready.
okay, but other guys wouldn't even. No, he was so good physically and had so much charisma. Was he ready? No, but he got a shot at it. Where you guys could have been 10 times as better than him.
Because we practiced while he was over there talking to you.
Right, but
That's why.
But you didn't have
prove
his,
my point.
You didn't have his let's say physique, body, or whatever.
No shit.
No
Yeah.
shit. He looked like, I said, God damn.
Yeah. Just think if he would have practiced, he would have been awesome.
Yeah, but that's what Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon is a goddamn. Look at that body. That's why they bring him up. They don't say, "Oh, is he any good?"
I know, but I that's not what I understand that.
Oh,
I'm saying you could have made him good. So
No.
talking with him and
no, he got brought up too
kissed
fast.
his ass the whole
He got
time.
up too fast.
Does Rip have any Larry Zbyszko stories?
Well, the first time I met Larry Zbyszko, I was wrestling, went in the old WWF, and him and Tony Gurria were together, and Larry was trying to pick up this rat, but he didn't. But he really didn't have the confidence or whatever to do it. He wasn't Larry Land yet. So let's just say I eased the doors open for him. And he wouldn't even remember it, but I would, because I knew that was Larry Zbyszko. And he wouldn't know who the hell I was.
Am I just wrong on this, or like Larry Zbyszko just never did anything for me? Like, I was younger, obviously watching him, but just never did anything for me. Watching him, his matches, I don't know.
I'll tell you what he was the best at. He had the art of stalling. He would do nothing, and people would get so mad because he wouldn't wrestle. He'd sit there and time out, and my shoulders hurt. I better stretch my knee out.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and I'm in the business, and I'm like him. He's got me. I'm like a mark going, God damn it, wrestle.
Yeah.
And he's just shaking his head. He'll start to lock up. Oh, my neck cricked or whatever. Let me go outside. Let me walk around the ring, this and that. And I've been wrestling for years, and I'm madder than shit. Well, get in there and wrestle, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
And he's wrestled with an enhancement guy, so he knows he don't want to do hardly anything. The less he does is better. So
Makes sense.
no, he was great. He was great with so much old school stuff that people today, hell, I didn't understand it then. It took years of duh. I was a total mark around Larry Zbyszko. He was so good.
Stephen Key said Vaughn got the guns blazing. Man, I wish. My arms are not pumped up today at all. I just actually slept in this shirt. Hadn't even changed. Off kilter. You know, I'm a single dad this week, Rip. It's, single dad.
Now you're seeing how it is, where you're responsible for everything, and you don't have time to hang and bang like you used to.
Well, I mean, I'm typically responsible. I just have somebody to help me. Now I'm just single all week. And I'm doing all the work, the family business as well. So I've got, I got the kids, family business. I got the sports. I got
babysit me.
You
babysit.
Try to get out videos that you complained last night about that I didn't do good enough on the Puerto Rico video. I thought I did a damn good job myself. Pretty good. You do some of those triceps, though. You get a little saggy under there, man.
No, it's called
skin.
70-year-old skin.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I can't do it anymore. Triceps, they hurt so bad. Oh, that's why I got the beard, because I got the chicken fat down here. But I can look up in the air all the time. And
do that while you
keep the fucking chin from dragging and hitting my nuts.
Speaking of Puerto Rico, if you've not, yesterday I put out Puerto Rico Tales of the Territory, Puerto Rico style.
Puerto Rico.
Go check it out. We need to get those views up. We're not even to 1,000 views yet, so we need to get that thing going. So get on there right now if you can. Shit, get on there right now. Puerto Rico, Tales of Puerto Rico. We got 876 views only so far. Thought it was a pretty decent video, even though Rip complained about it. Yeah, do what you can. We of course we got. I don't even want to put them over anymore, but we got a couple marks out there giving the stupid comments. So why don't you go blast those idiots while you're at it on the page. I'm not going to put them over on here or there anymore, but you guys can go tell them where to go if you don't mind. Adam Emerson in here. Hey, everyone from, where's that say? Lincolnton, North Carolina. What's up, man? I think we're probably a little behind. Oh, shit, here we are behind because look at that. We got a super chat. John Tucker, not only in green, Rip, but he's a weekly super chatter, it seems.
What's your favorite rules for baby faces to break? If you're a baby face, I don't want you to break any of the rules.
What about in retaliation?
Well, then all you got to do,
like if somebody else keeps.
Oh yeah, all you're doing is things go. You get the best reaction in threes. So if I pull your hair 3 times, boom, then it's time for you to pull my motherfucking hair. If I'm cheap shotting you on the third, it's time to beat the shit out of me. Let the heel get over. Let the heel be a heel. And then return what he ever did to you +1.
So you don't think a babyface should ever just cheat?
No, wait a minute.
In the beginning,
now
or first.
Okay, now here's the thing. We could have done some angle where he hit your mother in the head with a baseball bat, right?
Yeah.
But the whole thing is, I don't want the babyface attacking the heel, but I want in any position, in anything what he did. All the heel's got to do is to attempt to throw a first punch.
Now, we're not talking punches. We're talking actual rules to break, actual rules. Not, I guess, if you want to count a punch.
Yes, because that was
a rule. I mean,
that is.
Since when? I mean, I know they say it is, but when has a fist ever been illegal in the last however many years?
It's probably still an official NWA rule.
But that's I would. I mean, I guess a fist would be illegal, but I wouldn't even count that as a.
Well, WWE, they don't have any rules in.
Well, they do,
but that's exaggeration.
I think I know this question was geared toward me, but I always liked when the heels would do not the fault. Go in and out of the ring illegally.
Yeah.
Like do the the baby face, the refs with the baby face in the corner, they just do the switch.
They do the switch.
I like when then
the
eventually the baby face starts doing the switch back.
Yeah,
I always like
great.
that for some reason.
And
then the heels would just get all animated, going crazy.
You have some of the referees, they were good. They loved being the heel. And they love to get involved, and they love to get the boos from the fucking fans. But then again, some like Connie Marker that used to referee for Dick the Bruiser from Richmond, Indiana. Oh, he had to be a babyface referee all the time. He wanted nothing but cheers all the time.
Look who's here. Opinion Neighbors here.
What? Well, we was an hour early, but he still made it up. He probably had the alarm set super spectacularly early. He probably had to get up at 6 a.m. instead of 7 a.m.
He was probably in a meeting with our former producer, Waylon, or whatever his name is.
And he was probably out partying with all the money you sent him.
All the people in California. I'm late, Rip. Do I have to drop kick every individual in the chat? I don't know.
Wait a minute.
Is there a bad chat?
I can see Opinion Haver hitting him with the 1 foot in the belly button. Then it goes down about 6 inches more. Then you hit him in the quad. Then you hit him in the knee. Then you hit him in the ankles. And we got 3 more people out here. So
the main thing he does is that step salute spin, whatever whatever party or what party of one, not party of one, the army of one.
Yeah, I'd get a little chubbo down there when he do that good looking spin.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah. I think he did it better. He did it better than Debo.
Oh, for sure.
But
Debo,
then again, I told Debo he did it better than Opinion Haver. So what I just to keep the
Debo carried that team. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding, man. All a joke. Hey, I got some heat with your co-host, man. We're gonna have to get you and Big Ray on here to talk some Pacer Knicks. I got Big Ray Hernandez out there trash talking the Pacers. Did you see the Pacers filed a thing to the NBA on 78 bad calls or whatever?
Hey, now here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think the Pacers, if they're not they're about the smallest market in the NBA. Nobody wants to see the Pacers win unless you're from Indiana.
I don't know. I think they're a fun team.
Well, they can be a fun team. Now, name.
Come on, man. You got to talk in this microphone.
How many starters can you name?
All of them.
Oh, okay. Give them to me.
Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, Neesmith, Nimhard, and who's the one
They
I'm
got
missing?
no front names?
God, who's the one I'm missing? I'm missing one. Pascal or
yeah, the guy they yeah.
Siakam.
No, what the Pacers have got so, it takes guys to work a couple years to be on the same team, like if you're in a starting five for people to get the recognition. Now Halliburton, he's not getting ate up, but what I'm saying is the guy from New York's just stole the show.
Yeah, we'll see what happens tonight when they go back to Indiana and the refs don't cheat. Maybe we'll see. What are you going to say tonight, Big Ray Hernandez, when your Knicks go down and then game 2 when they go down? Pacers will get one in New York. This thing's over. Mark it right now. Somebody mark it down right now. Pacers win this series.
Von Lyon, he's got some confidence in his Pacers, but like his dad, I can see his dad, with him saying it right now, his dad be going.
Look who else is in the chat, man. We got
Ben Hameen.
He's here to
look
protect
at the big ass beard. Oh, that's mine, isn't it?
He's here to protect Big Ray. He heard me talking shit about
Ray Hernandez.
His boys, Ray Hernandez and the vet. He had to get in here and defend him, I guess.
Well, he's got 126 wives and 127 friends, and one guy double teams one of the wives. So what the hell, anyway, right?
Yeah, Ben Hameen, man, he's got so much. He's got so much stuff going on. I can't even plug it all. He's got the Hameen Media Group. He does this stuff with Russo, the Russo brand. He's got the marijuana shop now. What's that called for? Or what is that thing called? Ravens Joint.
Yeah.
In New York, go get you some weed from Ben Hameen, Raven Joint, something like that. I mean, he's got everything going
Ben
on.
Hameen's over. You just got to admit it.
I just did.
He'd be over.
I just did admit it. I feel,
but
didn't I?
I just still like when he does. That's Ben Hameen prayer.
Yeah, there we go. Papa Smurf said he wants some marijuana. Name the white guy in the Pacers, McConnell. How about that? I don't know if you've seen him play at all, Rip, the little white dude that they really haven't been able to stop him much either. I thought he was a young dude, but hell, he's like 31. He's been in the league for a while.
He looks like a baby.
He's been in the league for a while. I didn't really know that. I haven't watched the Pacers all year, really, until now. So,
well, they had that shitty third quarter, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they got killed.
Oh my God.
Yeah, killed. Rip needs a dark side of the ring episode.
I am the dark side of the ring.
Well, you don't do drugs or drink. It's kind of hard to. Aren't most of the dark sides like people that are all strung out on drugs or drink or
yeah, I think they are,
or committed suicide or something like that,
or was an alleged child molester or whatever.
How many times did Rip work for Bill Watts?
I worked for him in Mid-South, and I worked in WCW when he was the boss there.
Were you in Mid-South one time?
One time, yeah.
How long? I don't think we have any tapes from you in Mid-South, do we?
I had everything taped there, so they must have went with the flood.
Maybe we do. No, would you have wrestled Junkyard Dog there?
Yeah.
I've got something of you and Junkyard Dog, but instead of like a TV match, it's more like a tripod recording from like kind of far away or whatever.
I remember Ole had me go up, I think twice, and he said, I need you to work with the dog on the road. So I had him like 6 times, I think. So he said, you can have a match with him. So I did that.
Did you agree with Bill Watts' booking?
At the time, I sit there and shut up because I wasn't in that capacity, and I couldn't say I'm going to agree or disagree with it because I didn't know what he had planned 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. That's what the fans don't understand. They think, this didn't make any sense. Well, it's not supposed to make sense now. It's supposed to be like a 2-hour movie you sit through, and now you look back and you saw why he picked the key up. You saw why the butler was looking mischievous. You saw why the secondary girlfriend was mad. And then all of a sudden at the end of the movie, it all makes sense.
Okay, so this was 40 years ago, so surely it's all over, and you've seen how it played out. So now that it's all over, do you agree with his booking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not still waiting on
It's the
we're
booking.
not still waiting on to see what happens.
No,
right? So it's over and done
booking's
with.
pretty simple.
So you agreed with Bill Watts' booking?
Yeah.
Okay.
All it was traditional shit.
Frank's Picklebarrel asks, it's my birthday. 49,
Holy
he
shit,
said.
he's
Is he
49.
really 49? Is that real?
Well, see, Tina's 63 today, Miss Tina, and Frank's 49. Maybe they could have a little liaison or whatever you call a little insertion and a little alleged this and that. And Frank might that sumbitch might explode in his pants.
Happy birthday, Frank. Papa Smurf with a bunch of other stuff, and 420 says, morning, folks, time to smoke a fatty and listen to Rib. Good call there. Hey, we got regular guys sending us positive vibes and positive energy, Rib.
Well, have him send us some positive moolah.
Positive cash.
Yeah.
Where else we had? Okay, Puerto Rico, good. Tell a story about your tag team with Goldie Rogers.
Yeah, I think Kerry Brown was on a I think he was on a drinking spree, and that would happen with Kerry a lot. So all of a sudden he was replaced with Goldie Rogers. That's how he got in there.
About Ted Oates.
Oh, Ted was good. I didn't meet him till I went into work for Ole in Atlanta. And he says, well, he's your new partner. You're going to be the new tag team champs, the national tag team champs, because the Road Warriors want to go work at home in AWA because that's where they were all from. And they just wanted to work in their home territory because they'd been on the cable so long. So it was over so strong. So all of a sudden these guys were just local boys that Eddie Sharkey broke in Minneapolis. Now they're going to be superstars for Vern Gagne and the AWA. And that's the main wrestling they grew up with watching all the time. It's nothing better than going back to your hometown and and now you're a big worldwide superstar, and you sort of want to walk around with your chest out, go to the gym, bench your 500 pounds, acting like you're over, but you are over. And the Warriors were certainly over.
Let's see. Papa Smurf said, this is Duckman from Champaign, Illinois. We've got fans everywhere, Rip. Here's John Rader, life fan from Charleston, West Virginia. Got some couple new listeners all over the United States here today. Hey, I wanted to bring it up. I don't have the video because I was a poorly produced producer. I was a poor producer today. But did you see the Ric Flair stuff out there? The video of Ric Flair getting an argument with the bartender when he was apparently drunk at the pizza joint or whatever. Said he spent like $1,500 there. They had asked him to leave. Rick was on fire. He wanted to kick the dude's ass until some other dude said, "I'll kick your ass," and then Ric Flair kind of shut up a little bit.
Said, wait a minute, I'm 74. Whatever.
Did you see the video?
Did I see the video?
Yeah.
Not really. I glanced at it, but I said, no, this is one of Flair's same old shit things.
Yeah.
So he's about respect and this and that, and who gives a rat's ass? Whatever.
Not many comments on it, huh?
No. Well, if I didn't sit there, if I'd have watched it 4 and 5 times and really studied it and everything, I'd say. But since I didn't, I just glanced at it and said, "Oh, what's up, old Flair's?" I said, "Well, that's just another day in the life of the Nature Boy." I mean, Bischoff's got controversy and cash, and Nature Boy's just got Nature Boy Incorporated, and it's going to be an adventure. Put it that way.
How about the Hulk Hogan thing? He was talking about Roddy Piper and said that he was trying to get Roddy closer to Jesus, God, and apparently he got that voicemail after Piper passed away, I think is what he was kind of claiming, right? Isn't that what the claim was?
I think so, but he might have pushed the wrong button and he had that video saved or the voicemail saved for so long, and then all of a sudden he hit the right button, and all of a sudden that would freak the shit out of you, right? Holy, if that's even a story, or it might
Yeah.
just be a little Hulkster embellishment incorporated. Who knows? Whatever it is, it's exciting. So what the fuck?
Hogan seems to be a little out there in his older age.
Well, just think. Made all that money for how many years? Nationwide, worldwide superstar. Everybody, I think, in the world, if would know who he was, and you have no sense of reality with anything. He could walk in and say, "Hey, I want 100 women to go." Oh, here's the 100 women to go. Hey, I want free food for everybody here. Oh, here's free food. It's the Hulkster. He was so over.
Carol Hoover, you know Carol Hoover?
Carol Hoover. How about a crazy road story or two of a good bar fight that involved the boys? Bar fight.
Probably didn't go out and get in many bar fights.
I didn't go to bars. I know it sounds weak, but I didn't. I've seen a lot of fights, but not the bar fights. But
what else we got?
If he was slipping us some bucks on this and that, then I could make one up. I could be a Hulkster and make one up. Or I could be the Dream and I can make a super spectacular story up with some serious buckage.
Oh, you should do it anyway.
God, I can't.
Papa Smurf says people from Illinois go to the Pacer games to watch them lose to the Bulls. Well, the Bulls aren't even in it anymore. What the hell are you talking about, Papa Smurf? You are high. He must be high this morning. Talking about a team that's not even in the playoffs. It's all good, man. We got another pot smoker. I'm glad I'm not the only one smoking right now. Gregory Mala in the house, man. We got a bunch of high people today, Rip.
Well, they could be low people. Better to be high than low, right?
Has Rip ever gotten a rusty trombone? What's that?
I don't know. Sounds like somebody sticking something up your ass.
Well, it's from Frank, so you know it's something sexual.
Yeah, it's probably something stick up your ass.
Daniel Gillian in the house. Pafo's booked shows in Union County, Illinois, Dongola, Anna, Cobden. Any memories from these small towns? You know any of those small towns?
I remember Dongola, the town, and Anna, Illinois. I remember, we had two TVs that went in there real strong. The Marion, Illinois TV and the WSIL TV, Harrisburg. And for us, Southern Illinois was a gold mine. It was really good, and it was only wrestling. We were the only guys where anybody would go in there to wrestle. So that was cool. We were the superstars when the other superstars going to Southern Illinois.
Imagine the go and stress of being Hogan in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Man, a lot of times he'd be getting you'd be reading about him doing those double shots, and he'd be main eventing like an afternoon show, and then he's with his stuff still on, jumping in a plane. They got a plane waiting on him. He'd taking him somewhere else. That ain't no. You make a lot of money, but holy shit, that would just be so hard on you.
I know it's the same way, like in all sports now. They make so much more money than they used to, but just the way that, especially with Tony Khan in the house now, the way the wrestlers get paid today. Could you imagine, like, if Hogan, what he would have made in comparison to today? How much even more back then he would have made? Man, he would have made
well
tons and tons of money.
I would just like to see then. I don't care what year it is. His gimmick sales.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I bet he made $20 million a year just from the Hulk Hogan T-shirts.
In the 80s, though, I bet.
You got to remember. Okay, now look at the ratings of the 80s compared to now.
I know, but like in the 80s, I remember. I think it was the 80s when like $1 million baseball contract first started. 20 million on T-shirts and foam fingers. I don't know if he would have made. I think I'm sure he sold enough to be comparable that to today. I mean, I feel like he was one of the first ones they really started busting out all that merchandise for, wasn't he?
Well, that was all Vince's ideas with the with WWF. You know, that's one of the.
But I'm saying, wasn't he one of the first? I mean, you had the Hulkamania T-shirts. I think you had like the foam fingers or whatever they were, the headbands. I'm not sure other people had that much stuff.
No, it's like when we would go in, like in ICW, all we had was different pictures of everybody. When I
Yeah.
worked for Don Owen in Portland, he just had pictures, or the little things, the little tin things like the buttons and stuff like that, a Playboy Buddy Rose button or whatever like that, a Roddy Piper button. The gimmicks tables were they were small. Now the gimmick is the business in itself.
Oh yeah.
You could charge people nothing to get in, and then just have them gimmick tables there, and it's not it's not the walk-in money for the ticket. It's the gimmicks you buy when you're there.
I remember Vet's old partner, Zeus, whatever he was he Zeus in the Army of Two? Remember when he got it with Triple R, Rough Rider with Sean, and they were the Grape Drink Connection?
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. Now, Rough Rider, he's from up like the northeast
I
part
think
of
so.
Indiana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still friends. He still wrestles.
Yeah,
I
he's
see.
cool.
We always called him Triple R instead
Yeah.
of Triple H.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But they started selling
Great.
grape drink.
Yeah, it's awesome.
They'd bring a jug of like grape Kool-Aid,
Yeah, it's awesome.
and they would sell it. So then, or maybe they were here. I think anyway, because remember they would drink it and then they would like power up basically.
Get ready for the comeback.
But I can't remember when or where it was, but somehow they started turning heel and me and APOC started turning face. So we were at some spot show, and so they couldn't really sell their stuff anymore. So me and APOC during the match stole it from them. So then at the break, we sold their grape drink and then just split the money with them. So we sold that. I mean, shit, $1 a cup or whatever, you know. But hell, some money was better than none. But that's how we played it off, so they could still sell it. We would always steal it from them, and then we would sell their shit. How many Hogan pillow buddies got sexual assaulted? Oh my God.
Now, who said that?
Well, who do you think, Frank? I mean, who do you think said
Okay.
it? George Jetson in the house said first $1 million contract was Nolan Ryan in like 1980. Man, I just want to say you're wrong. Why do I feel like it was? I thought it was Ricky Henderson, but maybe you're right. You could be right. I could be wrong.
It wouldn't seem like a pitcher would be that way because they're only playing every 4 days.
Oh, they make the. I mean, they. Well, now like Bryce Harper and some of those guys have surpassed it, but there for a while it was all pitchers getting the money. Yeah, for a while. Ricky Morton said he had merchandiser that just stole the money from them. I don't know if he means from the Rock and Roll Express. It sounds like he's talking about that. Did people hire people to come sell their shit?
Well, a lot of times you couldn't go out there and sell stuff. Years ago, the guys never went out there.
Oh, okay.
Right. And you would just have, you'd put it at the Don Owens wife selling the gimmicks or whatever. And then let's just say he had, you put 20 pictures on the thing. Well, hell, he pulled 50 pictures out from underneath, right?
Or he did maybe what you told me. God, who was I selling gimmicks for? I was selling pictures for somebody at one of the shows, and he was like, $2 a picture. You came over and said, sell them for $3 and keep $1 on every picture.
And you did that?
I don't know that I did that. But I can't remember who it was. It was somebody that told me that.
Mm-hmm.
You told me to sell them for $1 more and keep the $1.
Hell yeah.
Papa Smurf said he checked it out. It is Nolan Ryan. All right. Nolan Ryan. You heard it here first in the 80s. First $1 million player. Rock and roll made the most from gimmicks. They sold cheap signed guitars and wigs. Never knew that. I'm trying to think what other people sold, but what else we got, Rip? We got about 10 minutes here left. Got anything you want to talk about? We're out of questions. I don't have anything produced, ready to go. Anthony says, when were you in Europe? Did you meet Otto Wanz? There's a question. Thanks,
I worked for Otto Wanz in 1992. He was a promoter in Germany, and Peter William was a promoter in in Austria. So when I worked to Austria, I worked Graz, Seeboden, and then 6 weeks of Vienna, and that was with Peter William, they called it there. And then with Otto, I worked 10 weeks in Hanover, about 6 or 7 weeks in Bremen, and then they had canceled Dortmund. They lost a sponsorship or whatever for 3 weeks. So I went back with Regal, and that's when I worked in England. And this was all in 1992. So when you'd work there, you get paid by cash every night. So I would get when I was in Austria, you got the Austrian marks or whatever the hell they were. And German, it was in mark. And then when I was in England, they had their money, and I still got the $5 $5 or $10 bill, my billfold of the English money.
Was that the last time you went, or did you get that in the 90s? The last time you were there?
Yeah.
Or when was
this? Was all in the 90s. This is all 1990.
But you went back to like Andy Baker's school. Is that? I thought that's where you got that money.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Right, because I've been to a couple seminars at Randy Baker's school, and that's where I jumped up on the bar and did whatever I was supposed to do. I can't remember.
We got all kinds of sports talk on here now. It says Greg Karen says actually the first $1 million contract in sports went to NHL Bobby Hull in '72.
Wow.
Oh, $1 million for a 10-year contract. Wow.
Okay, that's $100,000 a year, but then again, it might be in $50,000 the first year, and you go up, and then it keeps getting a little bit more each time. Well, I remember when the ABA was signing all the guys to all these high dollar contracts. You'd say, "Oh, he's no, wait a minute." The ABA guys, they'd be signing $1 million contracts, but all of a sudden, the $1 million was $30,000 this year, $40,000, then the next year $60,000, and then 8 years later they called it the Dolgolf plan. Then all of a sudden they've had all this rest of this money invested, and then they would get a lump sum thing where they'd end up making a whole lot of money. But that was maybe at least 10 years from where you signed the first contract. So it looked good on paper, but it wasn't quite as good as you thought it was.
Papa Smurf's got a good question.
Okay,
they made a movie about you, Rip. Who would play you?
Me.
You can't play yourself.
Oh, okay. I can play with myself.
Well, sure. Who would play you?
Well, we'd have to get Manny the Weasel.
No, it's not going to be the Weasel.
Okay, let me see. Hell, I don't know.
Nick Nemeth.
Oh, that'd be good.
Especially like back in the day. Like I would say he'd have to grow a beard and dye it, but
well, he's going to get to be a star, make money. So what the fuck, right?
He's not really an actor, I guess, but he could pull it off, couldn't he? He does stand-up comedy.
Yeah, this guy's
been on TV for 20 years. He
could do it all.
His brother was in a movie, or wasn't Nick in that movie, The Heel? We used to wear the T-shirt.
So. Yeah,
he was in that, right?
Yeah,
so he can act.
Yeah,
we're going with Nick Nemeth. Nick isn't hairy enough. Well, surely he can grow it, can he?
Put a wig on him.
He doesn't need a wig. He's already got long blonde hair. Why would he need a wig?
Well, what did you just say?
He would need to grow a black beard.
Okay.
He doesn't have a beard. I didn't say a wig.
Okay.
He would need
why can't he grow a beard?
Well, maybe he can't. I'm sure. I said he would have to grow a beard. Is what I.
Who said that stupid question?
I think it's a great question. Anthony Zupato in the house. In your physical prime, who would win in a bodybuilding contest, you or Rick Martel?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. Ricky was taller. Ricky had a great frame on him. He would never be as cut as me.
No,
but no, But his shoulder blades were wide. His hips were narrow. He had sort of a high calf, but he was great. But the thing about me is I didn't take no steroids. I think I got in more contests more than anybody I ever heard of. All fucking clean, 1, 2, fuck you all. And there was nothing anybody could do about it. And train light the whole time, every body part every day. And I'm still doing that, even though I can't hardly fucking walk.
Did you ever go out with Rick Martel? Who would get more women, you or Rick Martel?
Well, they would be two kinds of different women. I would be getting the slutty ones, and I'd be talking that shit where he was getting the nice guys, the
Nice
nice,
guys?
the nice girl guys.
So his gimmick was real, huh? Is that what you're saying?
He was a good guy. He was no. I'm thinking about when I was working with him. He was so light, and he was ambidextrous. He was good.
Did he like men or women? You know?
I never heard of him liking any men.
Okay. I thought that's what you were alluding to for
No,
a second. Okay. Because he played that kind of gimmick in WWF.
Yeah, well, that's when they made him heel. So
Right.
if you want to get heat, all you got to do is be an effeminate.
Sure.
And especially if you were a good-looking, hard-nosed baby face for years and one of the upper echelon talents, all we got to do is all of a sudden we put the effeminate on. All of a sudden, hell, I knew he was a queer all the time. That son of. Oh, you can't say that. I knew he was effeminate, or what? You can't say anything.
I don't know. Well, you can say a lot of things. I'm not sure you can say that. Bull Diggin finally awake. He's in the house from Germany.
Okay.
What else?
Well, Bull Diggin.
Can you speak on to is it June? Oh, J.C. Dykes and Dr. Ken Ramey.
J.C. Dykes was always with. I never really seen him, but Dr. Ken Ramey, I was in a territory with him. And so Dr. Ken Ramey was fucking awesome. Dr. Ken Ramey, I was living at Miss T's, which is the boarding house where all the wrestlers stayed at in Atlanta in like 1984. He'd come in and he'd like get chicken wire and whatever. He fixed my TV up so I could get cable TV off when I didn't have cable TV. If anything broke down, Dr. Ken Ramey was fix it. He could fix it. He was like Max Payne. Max Payne could fucking sew your clothes off. Max Payne could cook you Christmas dinner. Max Payne could take your car apart when your engine broke down. And Dr. Ken Ramey was the same thing. And Dr. Ken Ramey was always with Jim Starr was always one of the interns. And when I was working for Watts in '83, I stayed in Bossier City, and that's where his gym was. So I trained at Jim Starr's gym there in Bossier City, and he lived in the back of the gym. So you could train there anytime you just fucking ring the bell, boom, and he'd get, I'm gonna be here for 2 hours. Okay. But he was huge. He was big, and that made Dr. Ken Ramey look even smaller. And he got so much heat when the big guys would knock him down, he'd get in cheap ass kicks in. And he was kicking with the toes, so you know they was hurting like shit. But Dr. Ken Ramey, he was a good guy.
Good story, good question. Man, is this Matthew Underwood? Are you still on here? It says rest in peace, Mike Verde, aka Media Mike. Is that Media M5?
I don't think so.
Well, he hadn't been on here. Media Mike, Media M5. Mike, friend of mine, I met through watching NWA, always put you over, Rip.
Oh my God, I hope it wasn't.
Surely that's not. I'm trying to think. Media M. Surely not, is it?
I'm hoping not.
Let us know there. I'm trying to look up where he emailed me the one stuff, but let me know, Matthew. Is that who you're referring to? Medium 5. He's not in the chat today, I don't think. Surely not. Dude, Mike died. What? That's Frank Pickle asking.
Oh, Frank's hitting him up right now. I said.
Oh, he said yes. Matthew Underwood said yes. That's him.
Holy shit!
Wow, that was a Taco Bell. That's crazy. Well, if it's true, I don't want to say it right here on live YouTube. If it's not true, it seems like it could be true. If it is true, sorry to hear that. Matthew Underwood saying yes, it is. Rest in peace, Media M5. If that's the case. Thanks for your support of the show and Taco Bell for Rip and all the comments you had over the years.
He was the best perp we had, wasn't he?
I mean,
he was on fire all the time.
The best, but he was right there with the best.
He was right. He was talking shit all the time.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Hey, tough one there, man. Tough way to end the show. We are getting ready to end the show, but we will get Austin Idol stories next next week. Got all kinds of stuff on that. That's actually coming out. We're going to do some recording on him as well, but we'll get some of that. Man, who else? We're currently driving to Seymour, Indiana on a road trip. All right, Max. All right, well, we've been doing this for an hour. I've got to go. I got to get over to my kid's school. We were going to end it anyway. Medium 5, if this is really the case. Rest in peace, man, and thanks for everything you did for the show. Hopefully it's not true, but all right. Thanks everybody for listening, tuning in today. Sorry we were off an hour. Hopefully we're back to the same time, 11 a.m. Eastern next week.
More of a concrete time.
More of a concrete time. We'll see you next week.